welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Queen Vi's Reality Talk. I'm your host, Queen Vi, alongside my co-host, Mr. Hakim Nuba.
Hey, peace, Queen. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Very productive day today. So, how was your day?
Same here. Productive day. A lot of work got done and a lot of running around, and I'm good. No complaints today.
Yeah.
No
complaints. And that's what counts, because you be tired, but it's worth it.
Oh, yeah.
So.
You know, like the old saying goes, anybody can be busy, but how many of you were productive?
Right.
So. You put the P word out today.
Definitely. This week seems to have been slow for me compared to what it was last week. It was like it's Monday. Next thing I know, I looked up, it was Friday. And I'm just like, but this week was a little bit slower. But to the end of the week, not like I got so much stuff to look forward to on the weekend, you know, with still being in the middle of a pandemic. But hey.
Yeah, man. It was a pretty nice day. It wasn't too cold. It wasn't too warm. For me, it was just right. I mean, I was able to, move around a little bit. So.
I haven't seen outside. I haven't felt like what it is outside. I have not had. This is my first phone conversation today. Like, I was just been on my zone all day. So, for those that didn't get to hear my voice all day, here it is. Take it in. When the show is over, you might not hear my voice again until tomorrow. But sometimes I just have to just cut everything and everybody out so I could just focus, because you could be in the middle of doing something, somebody will call you, and boom, now they need you to help them with something, and it's sidetrack you from what you're doing. So, this is one of those days. And so,
if you don't take that time for yourself, then you're going to find yourself burnt out. Don't be like me. You got to take that time.
And I say that all the time, because the same thing you get on me about, you do. And if I'm not feeling well, you'll be like, oh, take the day off, da-da-da. But you're not feeling well, you just still in go mode. And I'll be like, I ain't going to bother you for the rest of the day. And then you are messaging me about work. And I'm like, aren't you supposed to be asleep? Don't you supposed to be relaxing?
I'll be trying.
That's I can for you.
Yep. So what we doing today? What's the big occasion? Why we here tonight?
Therapy. Right. So for Therapy Thursday, today we are going to be discussing saving ourselves. It's time for us to come together in 2021, and if we support, unify, and empower each other, you heard that? We'll be stronger as a community.
You cussing.
We are issuing the S.O.S. for all to come together. All questions and statements are welcome. Call in 929-477-1436. Don't forget to press 1 on your telephone keypad to go live with me and Hakim. This is basically a carry-on for our conversation Tuesday, because this is one of the points that we try to, stress Tuesday's show, that we have to, not anybody else's fight, and we can't wait around for anyone else to help us fight our fight, because clearly they're not, because they're not for us. Them helping us fight our fight is not going to help them in any way. Therefore, they're not going to do it. So instead of sitting around waiting for someone to come save us, let's save ourselves. Let's focus on each other's, our families, our neighbors, our streets, our communities, our businesses, everything that's for us, we need to focus on. And that's as a whole, you know.
Yeah.
We're going to talk. We're going to tell y'all what y'all need to hear, not what y'all want to hear, as we do also well on this show.
Whether you want to hear it or not. Well, you know, we thought it'd be a good idea to shift the gears from Tuesday's show, which was pertaining to white privilege and how that was more about social justice and our own social identity and, you know, the ills of America coming down on our necks. This is a little bit different because we want to cover more of the many aspects of our life. And it's one thing to be against something or have something against us. That was Tuesday. Now it's about just unifying for the sake of unifying, for the benefit and survival of the Black community.
All right.
Yeah, you know, the Black community has been fragmented for so long. And instead of us being coming together and standing together as one just all the time, we only do it sometimes. It takes elections to bring us together. It takes a cop killing us to bring us together. You know, that kind of stuff. That's the only time we see us come together in large groups. And I want us to go, and that's fine. We should come together when something is important to us, but we should find it important to come together, if that makes any sense.
Well, yeah,
you know,
and we got to do it all the time, not just like, oh, okay, some celebrity said something, now we're outraged, or somebody with, you know, and it's like it's for that moment. It's like it's a phase where we're getting killed every day. We're at the face of injustices every day, but it's like, okay, so 10 people might have got killed this week, but they're talking about this one person. So we're gonna protest, and we're gonna speak on this person and not worry about the other 9 people, which this week is 10 people, and next week it's going to be 20, and then 30, and the numbers are going to continue to rise because when the media, because somebody of a level of quote-unquote importance said something about one particular person, that's all we're focusing on. And it shouldn't be just about that, because this stuff is happening in our backyards, our neighborhoods, you know, just every day. So that's the issue. It's like, okay, we're gonna you know, we're gonna do a little bit. We're not gonna do too much. We're gonna do a little bit to shut them up for a little while. Oh, we're gonna fire a couple of people. Oh, we're gonna investigate and put people on administrative leave, paid leave. You know, just so they feel like we're doing something, so they can shut up. And as soon as they shut up and they forget about it, you're going to go right back. And you're going to still have those same type of cops. If not that cop, someone just like them still walking that beat, still answering those calls, still doing the patrolling. You know, and now it's like in your face. It's like, okay, yeah, I don't care if I'm being recorded. I don't care if it's a crowd of people. Okay, I'm going to do what I want to do. Because what y'all going to do? Boo-hoo? You know? And so,
yeah.
And that's the issue.
Yeah, we have to do things differently. And I figured that if we start from looking at things from a community-based perspective, cops know where to do this stuff at, right? They know which community, which area to stop and frisk. If a community is unified and is supporting itself, they are more likely to just, cruise through and not mess with you. But if they know that the least is going to happen to them is death duty or sent home with a pen, and they get paid to sit home for a couple weeks, their name will get thrown in the mud on the media, but it's okay, right? We have to do better than that, because if there are too many families who can't afford an attorney, and they have to do a GoFundMe page, and the son or the daughter done been beat or stomped by the cops, and they're begging people for money, and then the community just, well, I can't help you. No, we got to get past that. We got to do better than that. We have to be able to see when there's a problem and all come together and work on that problem. That's just social justice. We still got economics to worry about. We still have education to worry about, and jobs and health care. A lot of us are walking around sick and don't have health care. And we have to figure out how we can be supportive to each other and help each other in those times of need. We got a lot of our elderly who still can't make it to certain drugstores, and some certain drugstores may not deliver. So we have to figure out how to help these people. Bottom line is, there's so many things going on in your black community. It should be something that you can take part in to help. All right, this is a S.O.S. This is real serious. Ready for your first question of the night?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. This question is coming from Malik, our good friend Malik, friend of the show. Thank you, good brother. And he is asking that in the spirit of saving ourselves as a business owner, is it more important to hire our own people as employees versus others? Please explain.
Well, absolutely, because this is my thing is, yes, our people, but still has to be the right people. We're not by any means saying, oh, just because someone is black or brown, just hire them. They still got to be able to deliver and do their jobs. But just like we wouldn't want another business to come into our community, which they do all the time. They come in our community and don't hire our people. You giving a young man or a young lady a job, that's going to help support their families. That's possibly going to encourage them to be able to, to do something of their own one day. Somebody giving them a chance. Plus, you in your community, you're putting money back into your community, and you helping the value of your community go up. So, yeah, hire people. Try to hire within your community. It's all about a networking. It's all about a teamwork. Everybody as a whole. If we all, is as much talent and a lot of entrepreneurs and stuff that you have and business owners, if we all had the mind frame where we can all band together and source out with each other, we wouldn't need anybody else. Because our money, we spend the most money. So imagine all that money going back into our people. And we take away that power that they have. Because let's be honest, their power is more based on financial.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we it has to, if we don't attack things from that financial standpoint, it's not, we're not gaining. I'm tired of surviving. I'm tired of treading water. I want distance. I want depth. We all should want that, right? So when we look at it from the point of I'm holding two resumes and I have a brother who has all the qualifications I'm looking for, and then I have a white guy or someone else who has all the qualifications, I'm going to hire the brother because I'm looking at his address. Okay, he's about 3 or 4 miles away or a mile away. He's in the community. And if this talented individual could better my business, make me some money, I'm going to take care of him. Because I'm letting that community know that I'm in the community, so I'm going to hire from the community. And, that is one of the main things I've always taught my clients when they start a business. Always hire from within. Because you're setting a standard. You're becoming a leader in your community. You don't want to go, especially if it's an education and experience issue, okay, I get it. If all the applicants you're getting, all the black people aren't qualified for the job, okay, fine. You find something they can do later on, but you got to do what you got to do. But if you're seeing equal qualifications, you're seeing education, you're seeing experience, you're seeing talent and skill, you go with that. It should make you feel better to go with that.
Right. And do not have these stereotypes that people look at us and think about. Don't do the same thing. Because I know a lot of people who do that. They automatically think because they're young and black, they're not going to work hard. They're not going to show up. They're going to be late. They're going to flake. Give them a chance.
Mm-hmm.
You got some people who just have not been given that chance. And also, you just don't know what type of impact you can have on somebody. And some people do need second chances because some people, go through certain things and they're just tossed to the side.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't get right because they don't have anything in their community to look up to or to do or whatever. And so you never know who you're going to influence.
Mm-hmm. All right, this next question is from Caleb, and he is over in Camden, New Jersey. He says this is his first time ever hearing about this show, and he is asking, how can we save ourselves with so much violence that we commit amongst each other in the black community? Is there a plan? Please tell us.
Well, of course that is an issue, but it's not everybody. And the first thing we can do is accountability. That whole no snitching thing, that whole, you know that your little cousin Ray is the problem that's sticking up old ladies, but you're not saying nothing. But then when it get done to you, you want everybody to call in. Let's get some justice. Let's, find who did it. We have to hold each other accountable for things. First of all, these young people need role models. And if you got the 30, 40, and 50-year-olds acting just as dumb as the 19, 20, and 21-year-olds, then where's their role models? Who's going to pull them to kind of... Because some people don't have that stability at home, that foundation at home. Sometimes you got to look at somebody and find somebody that's troubled or somebody that's in a situation that you once was in. And they won't have to look up to these rappers and, the gang members and the thugs. They don't have to look up to those people because they got people in their community. I remember when I was younger, I didn't have to walk past in Newark. I didn't walk past drug dealers, or if I did walk past them, I wouldn't know what they did. It wasn't in your face. They didn't do it in the kid's face, right in their face, doing exchanges and stuff like that. They still had some type of respect, even though they was breaking the law. Just like when it was like a fight or something about to break out, what they do? Send the women and kids in the house. Now it's just like, boom, in your face. Somewhere down the line, certain things change where it was like, this is cool, this is in, this is how I validate that I'm a man or I'm a woman or I'm tough. And that's where some of the destruction began. And a lot of those people, it could have been avoided if they just had somebody to show them different. Now you got people in the corner trying to recruit to do wrong.
Yep. Broad daylight.
So you have to, you got to hold people accountable. Don't hang with, when people are a destruction to the community, don't let them be in your circle. Because that's the thing is, the people that's within your circle, within your community, you're supposed to hold them to a certain standards and hold them accountable. And everybody's supposed to be trying to make sure everybody else is living correct and doing what's right and bettering themselves. You know? Getting an education, learning some type of trade or skills, going into business together. It's supposed to be encouraging each other. The whole violence thing is because people, some are afraid to walk away. Yes, we do things to each other, and then we get upset when other people do it to us. I said it time and time again. We can't tell anybody else how to treat us if we don't know how to treat us. So once we start holding each other and ourselves, because don't go point the finger and you don't run around doing the same thing. You got to hold yourself accountable, and you have to hold others accountable.
Yeah.
If people be like, if somebody knew, nobody's going to mess with me because I ain't doing right, nobody's going to talk to me, hang with me because I'm not doing right, then you'll see people start changing.
You
know? He don't take care of his kids, so he ain't taking care of her kids. So, no, I'm not hanging with her. I'm not rocking with her. And they see how lonely it is. They'll come to the other side.
Yeah, it's a matter. I mean, for me, it's just a matter of supporting the positive things in your community. You can't get away from the violence. The violence ain't gonna get away from you. You're just best you can do is survive it, stay away from it. Unless you're gonna go out there dressed up like Batman every goddamn night. I just, there is a like the Queens. There is a sense of accountability. If someone gets popped and they're on your damn steps and you don't tell what happened, okay, you just let a dude go free. But I get the risks in it. I get how dangerous that is. But we have to understand something. There are people willing to kill over a corner, not the whole block, just the spot where they're standing. Think about that for a second. You're paying taxes on your house or you're paying rent, you're busting your ass, you're doing everything possible to keep you and your family safe. And someone is standing on a specific spot and they're willing to kill for it. That says a lot about what you're dealing with out there. There is no one answer for your solution, Caleb. The best advice I can give you is to focus on the good things that are going on in your neighborhood, get behind it, empower it, support it. And, if there's anything you can do, do it. At some point, we have to be willing to and prepared to die to save our families. Don't be one of those people that let these young boys sit on your step and hustle. Yo, my man, you got to take that somewhere else. He probably got a gun. If he's smart, he don't want to create a lot of noise, so he's just gonna move to the other side of the street. But you have to still be okay with speaking up for yourself. You can't let the misguided youth put fear in your heart. This is my opinion. I'm not telling you to go out there and be playing goddamn kick ass and hit girl on the community. I'm not telling you to go do that. I'm just telling you, when it comes between you and your family, everything starts at home. Because you mentioned violence, so I'm touching on the violence. If it's in front of your door, it's only a matter of time before it's behind on the inside of your door. So you have to figure out what's best for you. You either going to stick up for yourself or pack your shit up and get out of there, move your family out of there. But the community as a whole is big. You know, it's a big community. Mm-hmm. Find something positive in it. Put your energy behind it.
And if you don't see anything positive in your community, create something positive in your community. Like we got a lot of females in my family. My mom and my aunts didn't play that. And you couldn't come in front of the house and sell no drugs. You couldn't hang out there. My aunts would come right outside like, you got to move. And they will move.
Yep. And another thing to bear in mind, a lot of the violence is random. Don't let anybody lie to you. We're dealing with young boys and young women. I got the Citizen app, and I saw 3 women today in Southwest Philadelphia had guns. So we're dealing with a mentality that says it's okay to get a person on site. And think about it. On site could be anywhere. Them coming out of a church, them coming from a funeral, them coming out of their kid's school to pick up report cards. We could be any place, anywhere is on site. That makes it at any time something can happen right around you. So you can't ball up in a corner and be afraid. You have to figure out what you can do. If everybody focused on how can I protect my house, it'd be a lot of protected houses. Then you come together and protect the block. But that's going to take a lot of work, a lot of courage, and you can't be afraid to call the cops on these little dudes.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can't be afraid to go down there and be like, yo, my kids are here. You got to take that somewhere else. Because I tell them all the time. Most of them know me anyway, but look, my man, I went to school with your brother, man. I know your mom and pop. Young boy, go ahead. Go up the street with that.
And you know, that's the crazy thing about it, especially some of these. I mean, you got a lot of knuckleheads out here, but you got some that have never been told not to do something. They just was able to just run around and do whatever they want. And when somebody come and be like, what you doing? Don't do that. Ma'am, I'm sorry, and they'll stop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or they'll move. That's my kids be like, you always trying to check somebody else's kids. Yes. Because they don't have anybody at home watching out for them to check them and to call them out. You know, and for them to be accountable. You know, I will hope, and I say this time and time again, I will hope, because it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I will hope that if one of my kids is out there doing something they're not supposed to be doing, that somebody will say something to them. And I don't mean disrespect them and belittle them and everything. Just say something, you know, to them. Hold them accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it to their child. Whether I know you're not.
Yeah, we have to. This question is coming in from Chris. It was more like a statement. Chris is saying, I think one of the biggest reasons why we don't support ourselves in the black community, because everybody in the hood seem like they hate each other. They're either being petty to each other, hating on each other, or they're causing some kind of conflict over stupid little petty shit. What y'all think?
That is learned behavior. That's what it is. Instead of being taught to be your best, people are being taught to be, you got to be better than him, opposed to be your best, or this is your circle. Y'all grow people into this competition mode all the time, and that's where the conflict comes in at, because everybody want to be on top. Everybody want to be at the top, and they don't care what they're doing to get to the top, or they don't feel like oh, I can be successful and she could be successful too. Like for instance, it's other like Janet Jackson. Just because we're both radio personalities, that doesn't mean we can't come on each other's shows or support each other's shows. And that's the problem that a lot of people have, and that's just learned behavior. You hear it in the music, you see it on the TVs. Everything is a boom, a competition. You got to be the best. And it has to be this fight and drag down fight to the top. So that's where that mentality comes in at. You know, and people have to get out of that mentality. Nobody's saying, you know, that they don't want you to be, you know, some people are better than others in certain things, but when you are great at what you do, you should help others and teach others to get to that level. You know, it's called mentoring. So.
Yeah. You know, my key takeaway from all of that, from what Chris's statement is the fact that he's right. There's some people who hate themselves, so of course they're going to hate you. There's some that don't love themselves, so why would you expect them to love you? You have no culture. What is your culture? Go and ask the average black person. You say, hey, what's your culture? Oh, I'm an American, or I'm Christian, or I'm Muslim. They'll tell you an aspect of what a culture is, but they can't answer that. It's been stripped from them. They've been taught to think backwards. They have no interest in any community-based organizing unless it's something that hits them in the heart. You should want to do it just because we're up on top of each other. You're in a row home. You can hear the next door neighbors punching each other. You can hear them laughing. You can hear them bucking. You can hear them all. You can hear you're that close on top of each other. Why wouldn't you not want to communicate with them? Why would you not want to put something together to make the whole entire atmosphere better? You're too petty. You're worrying about what the next person got, what the next person doing. Ooh, look at her eyelashes. Ooh, look at her painted on eyebrows. Ooh, look at that, her lace front. And the dudes, I hate that, the bull. You know, when a dude call you the bull, when you go from being, oh, that bull, to, yeah, the bull, he hates you. I've experienced that a lot lately. Oh, the bull Hakim? Yeah, I know him. Here come a hater. You were taught from slavery to hate and rat and snitch on each other. You were taught colorism. You were taught to distrust each other. Go read them Willie Lynch papers. You done lost your culture. You done lost who you are. You done lost your standing in this world. And you've been Americanized to not want to deal with each other. So, yeah, this is why you got so much conflict. Yeah, this is why you got so much. Don't get me wrong, every society or every nationality has its internal murders, homicides, and wealth issues. But why does it seem like yours is so bad? Because you're in it. And until you start telling each other you love each other and you actually support each other and you be there for each other and stop this dumb shit, I work with anybody as long as they black. I tell y'all that all. You know me. You're on this line. You already know. You already know the one group of people I will not work with. I will be dirt dog ass poor at 30th Street Station. You spare a little change ass dude before I work with them ever again. I put that kind of commitment into what my culture tells me to do. I'm here to teach. I'm here to work. I'm here to learn. And I'm here to manifest with my people. So, yeah, there's a lot of hatred. Yeah, there's a lot of pettiness. Yeah, there's a lot of bickering. These young dudes don't know how to have simple conflict resolution skills. They have none. Like you said, Queen, they ain't got nobody to teach them. You know why? Because all the old heads who would be in my age bracket aren't out there to teach them. They're either in jail, dead, or just coming home from jail. So there's so few of us in the mid-40s who can teach the 20s and the 30s and the 20s. Because remember, the 40s are supposed to teach the 30s, and the 30s are supposed to teach the 20s. But if all the dudes who was in that age bracket of 18 to 25 during the 90s, we were getting popped left and right. This was the Clinton years, remember. If you were around that 18 to 20, remember, you was either getting knocked off from being a drug dealer, shot by a cop, or shot by another dude in the street. So if you survived those times and you were around that age bracket, you would be where I'm at. You'd be in the 40s. How are we, as a group of men, going to teach the 30-year-old dudes if we ain't there? Why do you think that crime bill was so painful to the black community? Because it knocked everybody off in the 90s. So here we are in the 2010s, the 2020s, and we're looking at young bulls who don't want to listen. Why? Because the person that was right over top of them wasn't there. They were wild. Everything is planned. Everything happened for a reason, man. So, yeah, we hate each other. We ain't got no reason to love each other to hear these little young dudes tell it. Let me get off my soapbox, Queen. Go to the next thing. I'm sorry. All right, shout out to the Tiffany down in Maryland. She said it's her first time writing in, and she's asking, why is it so hard for us to support ourselves in the black community when it comes to abuse, either sexual abuse by men on children or men who are clearly abusing their women in the middle of the goddamn street, and no other men will step up to help. They'd rather record with their cell phones. What y'all got to say about that? Well, damn, Tiff.
Well, I mean, it's true. We gonna talk about it. It's true. Some people don't get into it for different reasons. One reason, unfortunately, because they put their safety on the line, and that person may just go back. Doesn't make it right. And nobody's saying that to do something about it, you have to go, jump into it and, get physical. You can call the cops. You don't have to pull out your phone and record. Somebody can call the cops. It shouldn't be just a big show for everybody to see and talk about. So that's one, because it is a way for someone to anonymously call the cops, especially if you see somebody especially it's not a mutual thing. Another thing is, as far as like sexual abuse and stuff like that. Remember, back in the day, people didn't say, oh, he's a molester. It was, oh, stay away from him. He a little funny. They didn't have the conversations, and when things happened, they didn't talk about it. The same thing with mental health. They didn't talk about it. It was, oh, what happened in his house stays in his house. So that person was able to go off and continuously do it. And then also it became a pattern. People grew up with abuse in the home, so they think it's normal. They think it's love. Or people were sexually abused. Barbara Ann, if you're listening, sexually abused when they was younger, and they didn't deal with it, and they didn't get the proper counseling. It didn't get addressed, and now they grew up, and either they're doing it, or they're blaming themselves. And it's a cycle thing. So, and I think, unfortunately, a lot of things, and that's why we were talking about accountability, certain things have become so normal within the community, within our people, that is nothing to ooh-ah about.
Mm-hmm.
And people make excuses. Like, it's not that it's right. That's one of the things that we have to change. You know, and some
right.
and some of us do say something, but not enough.
Right.
Because if you're doing it in the middle of a broader market and somebody stop you, when you go home, who's going to stop it? You know, it's like that person should be able to know, they're going to be safe within their home.
Mm-hmm. And see, that's the problem, Queen. A lot of these abusive dudes ain't gonna put their hands on their women on broad market because they know that's where you're gonna go down. Too many cops around there. No, they want to do it in the house. They want to do it in the hood because they know hood people don't care. They'll smack you out in the middle of 56 and Chester Avenue. They'll smack you on Woodland Avenue. They'll smack the shit out you at the Poppy store because they know ain't nobody gonna do nothing. They've become comfortable with abuse to their women. Mm-hmm. They have become, and you're right. We have become so numb to the stuff that's going on in our hood that oh yeah, such and such dead. Damn, that's messed up. It's just like that now. Oh, such and such got he beating her. Oh man, that's messed up. Let me say it like this: when we were younger. And I'm from 60th Street in West Philly. If we got the word that you was hitting your girl, we didn't fuck with you no more. If we got the word that a girl we grew up with got hit by her dude, we getting him. We getting him. We gonna go get him. We gonna pull him out from wherever he at, and we doing him dirty, just like that. Because that's how we protected our own. How I'm going to see you, how I see you in school every day. How I see you when I'm walking through and you're in the neighborhood. I see you 3-4 times a day, and I can't stand up for you for some nut ass dude who want to put his hands on you. Man, please. I don't care how old I am. I don't care when. Don't hit no woman in front of me. That's just how I am. That's why I'm a die that way. And as far as the sexual abuse stuff. You're absolutely right. I'm a victim of sexual abuse. And yeah, I kept my mouth closed. A lot of people did. Childhood trauma. Barbara Ann's on the line. She's listening. Shout out to Barbara Ann, owner of No Trauma Consulting. Yes. Holler at her if you got childhood trauma. Look her up on all social media. Thank you for sharing our content today and our show today, too, by the way. But yeah, it's good that there are people like her out here in the world now. We didn't have that. Think about it, Queen. When have you ever heard somebody in the 90s, early 2000s talking about I'm here to help people who had childhood trauma?
Nope.
They like, man, you kept that shit to yourself. You can't even get a black person to go see a shrink.
Yep, it was black people don't go to psychiatrists. You was labeled crazy and everything else. And we got to get away from that.
No shame in my game. I do.
Yeah, and I'm a big advocate for mental health, emotional health. Everything is not physical. You have to be able to take care of your mind. Your mind is in control of everything.
Exactly.
So if you're not right, if your mind not right, your mental is not good. Everything else, I don't care how fit, how strong, like everything is going to fall apart if your mind isn't right.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to, even if you, I feel like everybody, whether you think you got issues or not, whether your life is good or bad, you should always, every now and then, go sit on that couch and have that conversation. Why? Because sometimes people do certain things. People could be overachievers, and it could be a reason behind it. Some type of past childhood trauma that they don't know about or they suppressed. So now they feel like they have to, you know, keep doing, and being on top. And they're never satisfied with what they do, even no matter how good they are. They always have some type of issue as they have to do more. That could be a mental thing.
Mm-hmm.
So even the people who think that their life is so perfect and great, no, sit and have that conversation, because everything could be going on perfect in your little mind, and then one little thing happen and your whole world fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
Because you didn't sit and have that conversation. Mental health is very important. That's why we do mental health shows.
Yep.
Everything is not black and white.
Yeah. Hell no. Gray area is heavy. Shout out to Barbara, and she says you're right, Queen, about the overachiever. Said that's a trauma response.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Trying to please that person that can never be pleased.
Yep. Got another comment here from Miss Dopeness. Said first we got to stop following trends. Like only when a person is murdered by a cop, Black Lives Matter. Black lives should matter every day. We need to make it a part of our everyday lives. Trends fade, lifestyles are everlasting. So that's facts right there. 100% true.
That's right. Say it louder for the people in the back.
Yeah. And it's because you got to look at it like this. Just to take it a step further from the trends. If the trends, remember, the trends for me is different now, but the trends for me growing up was you had to have that gold chain. You had to have that nice car. You had to have that certain type of girlfriend that accompanies all the jewelry, all the materialistic shit. That's how you know you made it. Right? That's how you know when you come through the hood, she got to look a certain way. She had to have them earrings. Mm-hmm. She had to have that outfit. She had to wear them shoes. You had to be wearing certain clothes. The trends come in so many ways. When you fast forward it to now, the trends are goofy. Look at the PlayStation 5. Look at the J's. You got to have J's, so you're going to stand out there forever. You're going to sleep out in the cold all night for some damn J's. You're willing to risk your health in the middle of a pandemic for some fucking J's. You got your girlfriend out there running and begging and hitting dudes up. You know where I can get a PlayStation 5 for my man? Some of you pulled out parts of, I know some, and you're listening. I know some of you listening, and I'm going to put your business out there. Some of y'all use some of your rent money to get that PS5.
And he can't.
Y'all need to be safe from your damn selves.
Because you feel like you're in the middle of a pandemic and you can't be evicted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just set my tea on that. My ginger and honey tea.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, everybody got it. I got to get that too.
Right.
It's like, come on, man. What I want to be a trend. Some of y'all with the Black Lives Matter, it was a trend for y'all. Because the minute the news stopped talking, the T-shirts stopped popping.
Yep. You couldn't go nowhere. You saw headbands, hoodies, sweatshirts, shirts. People getting it written on their pants. People were holding up signs. It was constantly writing it on their Facebook. Now, where's that?
And notice the worst part? Because you didn't stand on it and you didn't support it and you didn't get behind it fully and totally, make it an everyday, make it a part of your lifestyle, a part of your culture, right? You allowed other people to take it, hijack it. I went into a hair store to look for a brush, and they had Black Lives Matter T-shirts hanging from them. Koreans, of course, Vietnamese, whoever the fuck they were. They weren't us. When Pornhub turns their logo into the Black Lives Matter logo, same colors, you know what time it is. It's been turned from a serious movement. Yeah, it went from a serious movement to something that was marketable. They figured out a way to make money. How Wish got Black Lives Matter clothes on it? And how y'all ain't saying nothing about it?
All right.
Because y'all saw it the same way I saw it.
You saw every business coming out with little commercials, talking about Black Lives Matter, and they don't support racism and justice for this and that. Okay, now? Why now?
Yeah, because it's marketable. And it was a trend.
Right.
Don't think y'all the only ones following trends, because big business follows trends too. The difference is when they follow a trend, they turn a couple million to hundreds of millions. When y'all follow trends, y'all just spend it. Y'all just spend. Oh, I got them new Gucci belts. And for those of you who couldn't get the new Gucci belts, you start getting the fake ones. I saw y'all asses on Lancaster Avenue up 52nd Street rocking them damn belts out the back of the van. Them Aki joints. Come on, man. You're willing to embarrass yourself and spend money unnecessarily for the fans. I mean the trends, the fad. I can't talk tonight, y'all. Forgive me. But it's like we got to break loose all of that so we can start thinking about how to be more productive in our neighborhood. That's what this conversation night is about. We try to hit it from different angles. We'll be here all night talking, but we try to give just some highlights, some key points as to why things are the way they are. It's a new year. We should be talking about this shit now. I'm not going to wait for Black History Month. I wanted to get y'all to think. Thinking is got to get back in style, because there's a lot of doers and a lot of thinkers, Queen.
Right.
They don't want to think until the shit goes down. What you always say, they're reactive and not proactive.
Absolutely.
That's got to be our T-shirt. Let me write that down. Don't be reactive. Be proactive. Coming soon.
Yeah.
All right, I got one. I think we got enough time for one more, Queen.
All right.
All right, this one is Troy from Dallas. Well, okay, you might be our first Dallas listener that I'm aware of. And Troy is asking, what about the religious community? What are the churches, the mosques, and the Black Hebrew Israelites? Where are they all at? Why are you guys focusing on everything but the people with power? I don't understand what you mean by that. And how do we get the churches to come out of the churches and come into the neighborhoods and build unity that way? Okay. He's listening live, so I don't know what the hell he's talking about, but okay, you take a shot at it, Gwen.
Okay. The last part I heard was, how do we get them to come out? You go in, you go speak to them. Listen, you're in our community. You are a part of this community. We have issues in the community. We need you to use your platform. If that's what he meant by position of power, if he's talking about their platform or their congregation or following, I guess, have a conversation with them. And if they're going to be a part of the community, be for the community. And that's because, to me, same thing as a business. You want to be in this community, let's address the issues in the community. Be for the community.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't have your place of business there and get your tithes or whatever you're collecting, and that's just it. Supposed to be able to bring something to the community, whether it's activities, whether it's a voice, whether it's the public's attention, whatever it is. Accountability. You're here. You're in our community. Be for our community. And make them stand on it. Oh, I'm here for the community. Now, okay. What you going to do for the community? And then hold them accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure they do what they're planning out, for the community. Not just there to say, oh, you're a church in the community or whatever religious building you have.
Yeah. Because I get he went full on all the big three that's in the hood, but okay, and you make some great points, and I can agree with a majority of that. I work with ministers and pastors all the time, I work with religious leaders of all walks of life, especially if they come to me and say, hey, could you help me with this? And I see it's going to help some people. Hell yeah. I got a couple flyers to do. They're giving out food for people coming up in the next couple weeks. Hell yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to charge a lot. I'm not going to get rich off that shit, but I know a lot of people going to get to eat because Philadelphia has some food deserts in it. So, yeah, I'm going to do that. And you should be doing that kind of stuff. Like the Queen said, have you went into and talked to anybody? Have you talked to any members of these religious organizations and say, hey, can you get the pastor or the imam's number? I got some ideas I want to run past them. Did you do any of that? So if you're asking why we're talking about everything around that, but because it's to us it's simplistic, and we've had this conversation many a times on the show. If it's either you sit back and let someone else do the work, and you get off your ass and go do the work. Right? Nobody's here to blow your nose and wipe your ass for you, fam. You got to get up. You got to be a man. Stop pointing fingers, and you go take control. If you have an idea and you see that group of people can help you execute it, why ain't you there? So that's important, man. We got to get back to that. We got to be men. That's the other thing. We got to be men. The women are always being women. They're always taking care of the kids. No matter whatever we want to say, they're always being mom. They're the ones running the house now. It's time for us to come back to the house. Put them goddamn crowns back on. All right, Queen, I'm done with my preaching. We got about that time.
Okay. I do want to thank everybody for tuning in, for interacting with us as well. You guys are appreciated. This will not be the last time we visit this topic because we want to reach as many people as we can so we can start seeing those changes. So keep that in mind. It's supposed to be a way of life, not just for the moment, just not a trend. Do you have any last words before I sign off?
Nope. Follow us on social media, Queen Vibes Reality Talk.
Okay, that concludes our show for tonight. Until next time, good night, everybody.
Peace, y'all.